So welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto Vice City. In this part, we will be doing the infamous Sunshine Auto's import garage. And let me tell you, this asset is a giant load of fecal matter of the bull variety.
B.J. Smith, and you must be Mr. Vassetti. Would you like the tour?
Might as well.
Well, I'm very sad to be selling the dealership to y'all. This is my first investment after I turned pro. But now, it's time for me to move on.
You're leaving town. Not in too much of a hurry, I hope.
No, I'm just coming out of retirement and preparing for my future comeback. The business wasn't too strong, and my staff took it upon themselves to get a bit more creative with the generational wealth. Obviously, I could wind down the business before handing it over. Hell, I could burn the place down if I wanted to. This is prime development land.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about any of that. This place seems perfect.
Yeah, it does. So I take it we have a deal.
So before we're talking about B.J. Smith, and there's surprisingly a decent amount to talk about for that hilarious character, I want to point out what we're actually doing here, which is the import, and I keep wanting to say import-export garage, but I know that's not what it's called in this game, but we're doing the import garage for Sunshine Autos, and then when you initially purchase the asset, you're given a cutscene with B.J. Smith, and then afterwards you're given a list with 6 different vehicles that you have to turn into the garage at Sunshine Autos. Now, for these vehicles, you're mostly going to be finding them on the mean streets of Vice City because, in my experience anyways, it seems like anytime you go to a parking lot or a parking garage, you tend to find vehicles that you have already turned in or that you don't need at the moment because there are multiple lists to this place, but the thing is that if you're just going through the game casually and you don't want 100%, then you only need to complete the first list that the game gives you for completion of the asset. But if you want 100% completion for this game, then you need to complete all 4 lists that the game gives you for Sunshine Autos. So keep that in mind. But if you're on the PC, this asset is pretty damn easy, or at least easier than it is here on the PlayStation 2, because on the PC, there is this giant strip of road in front of Sunshine Autos, so what you can do is go out into the middle of the road and look into one of either 2 directions down the road, and as you're looking down the road, you can see vehicles come up closer and closer to you and spawn in. So if you have a really good eye, then you can see if the vehicle approaching you is a vehicle that you need. And if it's not a vehicle that you need, then you can look down and then look back up very quickly using your mouse or whatever to move the camera down and then back up. And then that will despawn the vehicle that was approaching you, and it'll spawn in a new vehicle. And if that new vehicle isn't something that you need, well, then you can just look back down and then look back up, and then rinse and repeat the process. And then if you eventually do have a car that you need approach you, then you can run on over to it and then turn it in for profit and completion. So yeah, on the PlayStation 2, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, boy, I tell you, because it seems that, well, not only can you not move the camera, but it seems that vehicles on the road spawn in and are heavily determined by what type of vehicle you're driving. So say you're driving a Banshee, you're mainly just going to find Banshees on the road, and then sports cars on the side, and then a random car from a random different class of vehicle sprinkled into the mix too. So you're going to have to use this to your advantage and make sure it doesn't become a disadvantage. So an example of this would be, say you're driving down the road in a Manana and you're looking for a cheetah, but you come across a Banshee. It would be a good idea to steal that Banshee because that makes it to where sports cars spawn more frequently, and you'll have a better chance of finding a cheetah versus the chance of finding a cheetah while driving a Manana. So yeah, that works for a lot of different cars, and it makes the process a lot easier, and this has been something pointed out by many people across the interwebs and such. So definitely think about doing that if you're on the PlayStation 2 or any other console that has this game. But, PC Master Race and... oh, sorry, I forgot to put on my fedora for that one. PC Master Race and all that jazz. And, you get the idea. But anyways, though, something that I should mention is that The location you're at does matter for finding vehicles, so say you're in Little Haiti or Little Havana, you're probably not going to find sports cars there in comparison to if you were on Patrick Starfish Island or something like that, a bit more of a high-class area, even downtown or near the airport. You gotta kind of think about that, although really only Little Haiti and Little Havana are the places that heavily influence vehicles, spawns, and stuff, so pretty much everything else should be fair game in terms of finding it. So a recommendation, though, on top of that, would be to do the Cherry Poppers asset, or at least purchase it, so that way a Mr. Whoopi van spawns there, because you're going to need a Mr. Whoopi for the final list. If you are going for 100%, you're going to need that van to turn into the garage. So with all that being said, hopefully that clears up a few things there. And I want to start talking about Mr. BJ Smith, who is a hilarious character who only makes one appearance during that cutscene for this asset, but he has a few commercials on the radio stations in which he's promoting one of two things. The first thing being the Sunshine Autos car dealership, and the second thing being his fitness program called BJ's Fit for Football. And one of those Fit for Football commercials has to be one of the funniest things that Rockstar has ever written, because there are just so many funny things about the commercial. Like, there are a lot of moments in the commercial where he pronounces steroids as steroids, which seems to be a speech thing that he does, because in that cutscene he had a few words where there was an instead of an air in certain words. And there's also a line which I think will trigger the commercial in a lot of people's heads, or at least the two people who are still watching up to this point. It'll trigger in their heads that, oh yeah, that commercial is what he's referring to, because BJ mentions, as he's reminiscing about his playing career, that he would just break his legs for fun. And it's just so outlandish, but you get what they're going for. This freak of nature athlete is clearly on some type of performance-enhancing drug, and in this case, steroids, and, he breaks his legs for fun. I mean, that's just so silly and just crazy, and, I love that. It's fantastic stuff. Maybe because I have such a soft spot for the glorious sport of hand-egg, which I don't think a lot of people respect in terms of the mental aspect of the game. It's like chess, damn it. It is fantastic stuff. But anyways, besides that, he goes on and mentions, his financial instability, his terrible investments and financial hardships and stuff. I mean, it's you get the stereotype that they're going for. I like how in this game it's presented to you, the stereotype, on a plate in front of you, and you can choose to eat it, you can examine it, kind of play around with it if you want to. It's not shoved down your throat as it would be in Grand Theft Auto 5, where they don't even let you have a chance to chew the damn food. They just force it down you constantly. It's like rapid fire. So, I have a lot of gripes with Grand Theft Auto 5, but anyways, as usual with something like this, I managed to listen to a lot of music, which consisted of Beck, The Police, and Nirvana, and not Nevermind Nirvana, because Nevermind is so overplayed. It seems like anytime I'm in my car for an extended amount of time, something from Nevermind always pops on the radio, and it's like, play something from In Uterus, please. Although, even then, a lot of tracks from In Utero get playtime, so what the hell am I talking about? But anyways, though, on top of that, I even managed to pseudo-watch a good chunk of Al Malloy's 100% Vice City Let's Play. And I say it like that because it was mainly just background noise, but hey, I've watched that series like 5 times already, Ireland, I'm your #1 fan. These nips are yours. But anyways, that completes this part. In the next part, we will begin the film studio asset. So until then, I will see you next time.